everyone. Okay, welcome back to a What's Up Wednesday. So today I'm going to show you how to paint a face. So if you are wondering, hey, this face looks completely different than the face you drew, you're absolutely right. I actually had a mishap with my computer and I lost everything. So I just redrew a face over again. Actually, I like her face a lot better. So what do you need to get started? First couple of things I'm going to use are gelatos. This is a peach color, and then this one's a white color. It's called coconut, and this one's called, well, this one's called peach. I'm going to use those to start off a base, and then you're going to need some gesso. So that's just the first part of this. There's going to be a lot of going back and forth. When you're doing a face, you want a lot of different tones to it rather than it being very flat. So there's going to be lots of, you know, putting color in and then whitening it out, like lightening it and then darkening it and then lighting it and then darkening it. There's a lot of tones to skin colors. So you're basically going to do this happy dance of back and forth until you find that color that kind of represents your face. Does it have to be a skin color? No, you could do a blue face, you could do a purple face, you could do a green face. However you want to paint your face, that's how you want to do it. But just remember, when it comes to skin colors, there's lots of different tones to it. So if you do want to do a purple face, make sure you like maybe add pinks or blues or something to the skin color just to add that bit of depth to the skin color. So this is how I'm going to do mine. You can see I still have the lines that I drew on here. So I'm going to take some of this peach color and I'm going to put it just around some of the darker spots of the face. The darker spots are always going to be around the hairline, on the outsides of the face, as well as the cheeks. Your lighter tones is where I'm going to put the white. That's like your T-zone, they call it. Underneath the eyelid, this part of the eye is usually where you have your highlight. So move that up a little bit. Definitely the nose. The cheeks are going to be lighter underneath the nose. And yeah, so just add that. Then we're going to blend that with a paintbrush and some water. So I'm just going to find a paintbrush here. When it comes to paintbrushes, I find I have my kind of favorites. So this is a number 3 round tip. I'm not sure if this is the one I like or not, but I'm going to go with it. The other thing to note is when you are playing around with the graphite, you're going to have that kind of like, it's going to fade in because the graphite is water soluble. So you can use that to your advantage to cast shadows in the darker spots where you need them. So you can just see I'm just adding that first layer of that peach tone. And then what I'll do is I'll zap that with a heat gun and dry that, and then I'm going to go over top of it with a layer of gesso. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to add a skin paint color over top. I actually have this. It's called Shell Pink. I don't like the pink color that it is. I find it's too pink for skin color. The girl at the art store, she was saying this is really close to skin color. You can just add a few colors to it and make it work. Just an FYI, I've never made skin color with this particular color before, but we are just going to go with it. So again, that is the Shell Pink. It's in a heavy body. So the other things you're going to need to blend it is you're going to need some gesso. So I'm just going to take some of this gesso, put on this palette pad. You're going to need probably quite a bit of gesso. So there's the gesso. The other color you're going to need is yellow, and the yellow is there's actually a lot of yellow in skin tones, so I'm using Direly Lied yellow. This is quinacridone red, so this is just going to give us some darker colors. This is raw umber. This is going to give us some darker tones, and then blue is just going to kind of if it feels a little too bright, it's gonna tone it down. So I'm gonna actually use a palette knife. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this pink paint, I'm gonna take some white, and you can see it's really quite pink. So to tone that down, you take a little bit of yellow, and you just keep mixing, and you're gonna see it's really quite yellow. So just keep adding some white paint to it, and what you use for your palette is actually the palm of your hand, and then that's going to give you a closer skin color. And this is feeling a little bit too yellow, so I'm going to add some red to it, and that's going kind of a little bit better. So you can see it's a little bit more of a yellow tone than that pink color we had up there. I kind of like that a little bit better. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown. Okay, now that's looking closer. That's looking a lot closer. Oh my goodness, have you ever had a puppy before? Okay, so you can see that's looking quite a bit better. So if I go like that, you can see it'll dry a little bit of a darker color. So you can see that's getting pretty close. Maybe a little bit darker, not much. And you know what? I think that's pretty close. So then what I'm going to do is just paint that on. Again, what I'm going to do is just start in the darker spots and get that out of the way. Start in the darker spots and just kind of use your paintbrush to start blending it towards the middle. So then I've got kind of that, so I'm going to take some white paint and just kind of go into that T-zone again and just kind of blend the colors that I have there back out. I'm getting a reflection, so I'm hoping that you guys can see what I'm doing here. so it doesn't look like much of anything. You can just see I'm going back and forth between the skin color and the white paint and just kind of blending it out. You can see I've lost a bit of the lines. So what I'm going to do is going to let it dry, draw the lines back in, and then just keep playing back and forth. The other thing I'm going to do is, if I can find it here, there is this ochre water soluble crayon, and it looks really yellow. But what this is going to do is, after this is dry, I'm just going to come in underneath this hairline, and then that is going to actually give a shadow. Actually, I think it's pretty dry right now. I could probably do this. And you just go around that hairline, and that's just going to create the shadow, and then underneath that neck, and making it a little darker towards this side. And again, just using the paintbrush, and then I'm just going to blend that out. Okay, so I'm just going in. This is a 4B soft pencil. It's going to be really dark. So I'm just going to go around some of the lines that I lost. Okay, so I drew those lines back in. They're a little heavier than what I wanted to, but by the time I start adding my color back in, it should blend out. So I'm just coming back in with this yellow ochre. It's going to give me some more yellow. You saw I have the face pretty well blended. I again lost a lot of the detail in the face. I actually found some better pencils. So I'm just going to redraw in some of these lines that I lost. They're not going to be as dark as they were last time. Move on. I'm going to use the same red paint that I have here. Let me just see. It should still be wet. I have to take a break for a little minute. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that or not. So we're just going to paint in the lips. And then what I'm going to do is just wet my brush. And then I'm just going to pull that pink down. Okay, so what you want to do for the lip is you want to make the top lip a little darker than the bottom lip. And what that does is usually on your bottom lip you have a highlight. So by just wetting that brush and pulling the color down and then re-putting the darker color up on the top lip, that's going to give that shadow for the lip that you're looking for. And then I might want to add just a little bit of pink to the cheeks here. So I'm just going to wet my brush and just, this is dry, and then what I'm going to do is just add that pink from that red and then just use my finger to blend it out, and then that's going to make her have some nice rosy cheeks. And then for the eyes, I have the blue here. So I'm just going to use, I've just been using the colors that I have out. So again, you want a darker, this is going to be for the eyes. So you want a darker color of blue up towards the top of the eye. And then you're just going to blend it out to the bottom. So I'm just starting in, and this is again that little happy dance of going back and forth. So I put the color down, now I'm wetting my brush and I'm just going to pull that color down to the bottom of the eye, and then we'll go back in with the darker color again and just signify that darker blue up towards the top. Okay, I actually want her eyes just a little bit of a darker blue. So this is the anthraquinone blue. It's just like a lot more of a richer blue. I'm just making sure my paintbrush is a little bit drier than normal. I just dried it off on that rag. Again, just going to come up in here. Start up at the top. And then I'll get my brush just a little bit wetter. I'm just pulling the color down through the eye now. Okay, so then after I have the color down, what I like to do is get a drier brush and then just kind of flick out from the iris out. And that's going to kind of give you those lines that you see in the eyes. That's like the, what do you call it? Like the, I don't know, the iris part of the eye. So she's got these really rich blue eyes, and you can see that it's kind of lighter towards the bottom. Might go back in and finesse that just a little bit more. So then the other thing I do is I'm going to get actually a black Sharpie, if I can find it. And this is actually a paint Sharpie. Okay, so this is the black paint Sharpie. It's a fine tip, oil-based. So what you're going to do for the parts of the eye and the nose and part of the mouth is the darker points of those items that are going to just kind of pop the eye out. So it doesn't look like much now. So what you're going to do is on the outer parts of the eye, the upper lid, and all of a sudden you're just going to see her just kind of pop here for a minute. So just that part of the eye. Let me just carry this down just a little bit. Just like the outer parts of the eye. Again, the upper eyelid. Just kind of like that. So that just kind of made her eye just pop just like that. If I have to redefine the eye just a little bit, then I can. You have to go outside, Kato? Kato, you have to go outside. So, we got that part of the eye. Then you're going to do the iris part of the eye. Or the pupil, I guess it is. So you just come in here. And just fill in where you want the iris part of the eye to be. And now you can see she's really come to life. So then you're going to do the nostrils, because the nostrils are always really dark. And then the middle part of the lip. So she is looking so, so cute. And then you come in with the white parts of the eyes. This might be too not dry enough, so I might come back later. I just want to make some thinner lines around the eyes and then just redo those eyebrows. So to do eyebrows, you're just going to actually do each individual line. That's going to make it look a little bit more realistic. Not that she's realistic looking, but... Okay, and then we're going to do her eyelashes. So when you're doing the eyelashes, you kind of want to do like a flicking motion. Where's my paper palette? So when you do the eyelashes, you want to actually kind of go down and up. That's like over exaggerated. But if this is the eyelid, you want to go like this. If that makes sense. And then the under eyelid, you just want to do like a little, almost like comma. And then as you get to the center of the eye, if this is the eye, your eyelashes are going to go this way. And then when you get to this way, they're going to go the opposite way. So like that. Oops, I'm going off camera. So like that. So yeah, when you get to the center of the eye, you're just going to change the direction. So we are going to do that. Okay, so I freaking love her. She's turning out so cute. The next thing is my irises should be dry, so I'm gonna come in here. I don't like that poster paint. I'm gonna come in. This is a Montana paint marker in white, and I should be able to get a lot more white on here. There we go. Much better. And then don't forget the kind of like the focal point of the eye. If you want to, you can add a couple little dots there. That's just going to bring her eyes to life. I think I fixed her. So then let's just move on to her hair. I'm just gonna leave her the way it is. I'm gonna zoom out. So actually, you know what? We will finish the face here and then we'll move on to the hair and the rest of her, and that will be the next What's Up Wednesday. So I will see you guys next week to finish her off, and have a great week. See you soon. Bye.